All right, back in a Monday morning. Let's start the week with a royal roundup. Here's our royal expert, Patricia Treble. Patricia, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we're going to start with the King and Queen of Spain, who were hit with mud and some other objects by angry protesters as they toured some of the worst flooding that country has seen in decades.
Yeah.
What more can you tell us about this?
Yeah, this was a scary scene yesterday. So they went to the hardest hit part of Valencia, where more than 200 people have died. And, they're still finding people. And they went with the Prime Minister and with the regional leader. And the mobs, these are residents who say they weren't warned about the floods, the dangers of the floods, and they haven't had enough relief and aid. And they really took it out. I'm going to say the politicians immediately fled, but King Felipe and Queen Letizia stayed. And they were, hugging people, they were consoling people, and they were also taking a lot of people shouting at them. It's a really volatile situation. Today we have huge warnings, massive flooding in Barcelona. And so this is going to be a real test, not only for the government, but also for the monarchy as to how they deal with this, because anger is really building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Okay, moving to Prince William. He is in South Africa now for Earthshot Prize.
Yep, so he landed this morning. And this is his one big trip of the year because, of course, everything went sideways at the beginning of the year. So he's there for 4 days. And, of course, Earthshot is his big charity that he's fond of. Yep, that he's fond of. But it's also he's doing 4 days, lots of events. So he's going to be meeting the president of South Africa. There's a real diplomatic effort there as well. And it really kind of signifies to me that it's a return to normalcy. The fact that he can go away for 4 days is everything is slowly getting back to normal for that family after such a difficult year.
All right. Speaking of, we've got reports that Princess Kate has become maybe a little more interested in faith since her cancer diagnosis.
Yeah, so this came out, a royal author, Robert Hardman, he's been updating his book on the first few years of the King's reign, and he's been dealing with both illnesses. And this was fascinating. Neither she nor William are particularly big churchgoers, but serious illness has a way of, having you reevaluate your life. And so this is going to be interesting. William is going to eventually become defender of the faith of the Church of England. So having one in the family who's a bit more religious is probably good.
Isn't it also this author that has reported on the fact that Andrew has been cut off from his $1 million allowance?
Exactly. So Robert Hardman is completely plugged in. The book came out earlier this year and he's completely updated it because there's been so much news. And yeah, so the King last month cut off his private security, which was apparently several $million a year, and this month has cut off £1 million, so $1.7 million allowance that the late Queen and then the King were giving him. So Andrew is effectively on his own, and this is kind of just this whole how to deal with Andrew thing. That the King really wants him out of that house and is really making the push, and he controls the purse strings.
All right, in the meantime, we've got an update on that Portugal property that Harry and Meghan reportedly bought as a vacation home.
Exactly. So we're talking about royal finances. And this really confused me. Remember a few weeks ago I said, why would you have a vacation home 9,000 kilometers away? It's an investment property. So that makes sense. So Airbnb. And they're diversifying their income because, let's face it, they might have royal titles, but, they've got an expensive lifestyle, and this is something that they need to focus on.
Okay. We don't normally throw Kim Kardashian in a royal segment, in a royal update, but the fact that she was kind of channeling Princess Di puts her in it.
Exactly. I saw this on Instagram and I kind of went, oh my goodness, what the heck? I recognized it immediately. This is a huge amethyst and diamond cross, and Diana wore it several times in the late 80s when she was starting to really get into fashion, when she was starting to really expand her style horizons. And she wore this incredibly dramatic cross. It was a loan from the royal jeweler. And apparently it went up for auction last year. Kim Kardashian bought it, 200,000 American, just so you know, and wore it. And I'm going to say it's big and bold. You need to be a big, bold personality like those two to wear it. I think they both carried it off.
All right. Well, we're going to leave it there. Another Royal Roundup on a Monday with Patricia Treble. Patricia, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.